I'm live. Okay. Hi. Welcome. I think there's two people here, so welcome. Um, everything sound good? Look good? Hold on, let me I have a light. Turn that on. Oh yeah. Hold. That might be too much. Oh, anyways, welcome. Um, today I thought I would talk about couples costumes because it's kind of twice as hard to figure out not only your costume, but a coordinating costume that if you guys get separated, it's not, wait, what are you? You know what I mean? So, um, I saw somebody ask on Discord about couples costumes ideas, and people threw out some good suggestions. So I stole that list and I wrote it down, and then I came up with a whole bunch of my other ideas. So, let me know if you have any questions about costumes you're working on, or if you have some couples costumes ideas that you think would be fun. And let me go. Here's my list. So the first few was Captain Cutler's Ghost and the Witch Doctor from Scooby Doo, George and Jane Jetson, Cosmo and Wanda, Huey Campbell and Starlight, Fred and Daphne, Velma and Johnny Bravo, Master Chief and Cortana, Daredevil and Elektra, Nightwing and Starfire. I thought these were some fun, good starts. Um, there's still more, but I just wanted to see if everything's all working. Oops, let me change that real quick. But anyways, the very first time I ever rented a costume was because we were doing a couple's costume, and it was kind of a really fun thing to do. To an excuse to go into the costume shop and pick out different things, and then you realize, oh my gosh, it's like, what do I want to be? What do you want to be? But that doesn't fit me, and that looks good on you. But what would I be if you were that? Ever have that conversation? It's a fun one, and I got to have that conversation a lot working at the costume shop. Um, Trash Panda, Fiona, and Farquhar. Far, I'm not going to say his name right, just because I know I stumbled on it. Farquhar. I've actually done Fiona and Shrek before quite a few times because we had a really good green velvet dress that really looked like Fiona and a, an easy wig that wasn't super hot. But we did Shrek because that one's a really easy, comfortable costume. It's a Renaissance shirt with one of the Renaissance vests, and the Ren pants are basically doeskin pajama pants with the boots. It's a really comfortable costume, and then you just get the ears. And if you really want to go green, I suggest green gloves because his shirt's pretty long, and face paint's up to you. I've done it. I've left it, but I like Farquhar. I can't say his name. Oh, you guys like my strawberry jelly necklace? Oh, that's what we'll call it. I saw this at the store and I just thought it was too much fun because you do this with one of those big 1700s wigs and a Marie Antoinette dress, and you could be Marie Antoinette after her head was cut off. You know, I thought that one would be a fun idea. Um, but subtly dressed up, I like it. Um, but yes, hello, Maker Bats, and welcome. Oh wow, there's more. There's 6 people here. Welcome. Hi, Stephen Mills. Um, yes, I agree with you, Trash Panda. Pretty much. Why bother saying it right? But Yeah, that's a fun costume idea. I've done that one a lot. Um, on the list of costume ideas I was coming up with, one I really like is Fred and Wilma. They're really fun to do, like Pebbles and Bam Bam. Um, pirates. Pirates are always fun because you get to do whose interpretation of a pirate, like I see pirates looking like this, but I'm gonna be the captain. I'm gonna be looking more like Shmi from Peter Pan. And then also you probably could be like Tinkerbell and Captain Morgan, just kind of really mess it up and have some fun together. Go together, but kind of. Um, you can do like angels and devils. You can do, oh yeah, Cleopatra and Mark Anthony. That one's one of my more favorite ones because Cleopatra, you can just find a white or a black dress that's really comfortable and long and fitting, and then you just accessorize it with collars and headpieces, and you go all out with your makeup and have lots of fun. And then Mark Anthony, you get to go into the Roman soldiers section of the costume shop, and you get swords and shields and the big giant chest plate with the Roman soldier armor. We had some fun. Armor. Yeah. I feel like my favorite costumes had the boots and swords, and there's a lot of things that you could do with just those few things. Hey, Dan Does Junk. Welcome. Oh, Stephen Mills. Would I ever do Harley Quinn? I have done Harley Quinn. I've done it a couple times. My favorite one was the black and red velvet where it was the Harlequin outfit, where it was long sleeved and it was a unitard, and then it had the big cuffs and the big collar and then the headpiece. That one was so comfortable to just run around in. It was one of my favorite versions of Harley Quinn. I do like all her outfits from like the newer stuff because I love how trash and fashion it is. It's fun. But yes, I have done Harley Quinn. Probably would totally do her again. She's fun. I like doing the Joker too. I remember we had this couple come in and they were really excited because they were going to SAC Anime for the first time and they wanted to rent costumes, but they had no idea what they wanted to do or be. And um, she was like, I can do anything. He needs something that he's excited about. And we were going through the costume shop and then we were like, what about the Joker? And then we decided on the Joker from when he was dressed up as a nurse. And we went into the nurses section and got like the perfect old lady nurse classic little dress. It was so much fun. He got into character and then she got into it was and they had a blast at Comic Con and it's like, what could I be? I don't know. And that one was a fun one. Stephen Mills, she has a roller derby outfit in the DC New 52 run. Oh, okay, cool. Um, Roller der roller derby is fun because any excuse to show up to a party with roller skates or a tricycle. Um, I dressed up as this puppet. I wore a little tiny tuxedo with little tiny tuxedo shoes, and I rode a tricycle into this party, and I had this crazy this mask on it, had these little circle things. Anyways, it was a fun party because I had a tricycle and a seat wherever I went. It was a blast. So, roller skates, fun accessories like that, I am totally for when it comes to a costume. Oh, yeah, and, like, with the Roomba for the new Hocus Pocus that's coming out, that one sounds like a fun one to play with too. Dan Does Junk. I enjoy seeing costumes from animated series compared to movies. Although the movie ones are cool, I like seeing the classic looks. Yeah, sometimes I feel like you have a flavor of this character, because you saw it on the cartoons first, and now you're seeing it in real life, but I get it, because cartoons are really simple because they have to draw it over and over and over and over again, and it's fun to dress up that way. But I feel like it opens up your options depending on what you have access to. Oh, I can do the cartoon version easier than I can do the real life one. But what I really like is like WandaVision, they gave you all of that with that with the movie that came out. I'm not the movie, the series that came out, because they gave you her classic comic book look when they were dressed up as wrestlers, and then they also had the really cool, intricate, glowy. You can do all the different outfits. You can do the headpiece, diadem, mask. It's not a mask. Yeah, but you can do that little face piece. I know Odin has like 2 videos on how to do it, but doing that with just like a burgundy hoodie and a denim jacket and being comfortable with some is a completely valid costume too. So you have like all these range of options to get like the WandaVision, you know, depending on what you're comfortable with. But yeah, so Big Bob's props. I got the Star Trek Wrath of Khan radiation suit pattern, so now I just have to resize it as I am massive. Okay, what I would suggest you do is you start with your shoulder to shoulder. Scale it to your shoulders. So there, if you do it behind you, have somebody else do it for you. Don't do it yourself. You measure from shoulder bone to shoulder bone, and then put that and scale it from there, because you're gonna want it to hang from there down. I think that's like the most important measurement of them all. And then also, you have the circumference, you can just scale. Keep the armhole, just swing it to where it needs to go, but put your shoulder to shoulder. That's where you're gonna really wanna. Oh, sorry. I hope that helps. But yeah, so when you're scaling patterns, that's that's where I start. Um, James Allen, welcome, and Stephen Mill. Martha Kent as the Joker in Flashpoint would be a cool costume. Ooh, I like different versions of things. Um, Big Bob's Bob says, thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, just make sure your shoulder to shoulder's right. Keep the armhole or whatever you have going on, and then go to your chest or waist circumference, whichever one you is the larger measurement, and keep it straight down, and just swing it till it hits there and go straight down and square it off. I hope that helps, but that's how you scale it. I would scale it to your shoulders. Uh, yeah, let me go back to my list of random costume ideas. Oh, yeah. These ones are some generic ones, like the Western cowboy and saloon girl. The Western cowboy can be all sorts of different ways, from the gunslinger to the Clint Eastwood to the gambler to the. There's a lot of different characters that you can do with like the Western look. And then for the saloon girl or the prayer, there's a lot of different weird. It depends on what you have fun and what you keep finding on that one. There's also the flapper and gangster, because Fringe is so much fun to play in. It's fun to dress up like a flapper, and if you guys get separated, you guys both are a costume in and of itself, if that makes sense. And gangsters are fun to play, and so are the flappers. King and Queen of Hearts, Alice and the Mad Hatter. Ooh, the Mad Hatter. I've done um, the Mad Hatter hats from the Tim Burton movie, and we did all sorts of different versions of Alice in Wonderland working at the costume shop, and I really liked I really liked the giant hat. It was really fun to make. It was 2.5, maybe 3. It was a tall hat, and it was fun making the hat pins. We made it out of wire coat hangers with beads on the end. It turned out really nice, and I remember one year we did a Alice in Wonderland party. A girl survived a big medical treatment, and the family just wanted to celebrate. And so all of her friends picked a character to show up at the tea party and surprise her with this big Alice in Wonderland tea party. And she got to be Alice, and her dad got to be the Mad Hatter. And the White Rabbit showed up, and all her friends were just all the different characters. And It was a really, really fun group costume, and there was a lot of different ways they each kid took it and each person took their character. It was really fun because you had both the cartoon version and the Tim Burton version and your own version to kind of make things up with, and I liked that they had a lot of fun with that one. I think that one counts as a group costume, but you can pick within, like, which costumes you wanna be. Robin Hood and Maid Marian. I was laughing because Robin Hood Men in Tights and the Maid Marian with that chastity belt, that was hilarious. Um, TJ and Spinelli, or you could be the gang from Recess, but if you get separated, who would people recognize you as Gus? Maybe? Power Rangers. That one I feel like could be a, couple's costume or a group costume, you know, kinda getting together and seeing, "I like to be the Pink Ranger. I wanted to be the Yellow Ranger," and such. Let me see. Okay. I Maker Bats says Bait Bats says Maid Marian was an awesome costume. I was it SKS Props that did the belt? I was laughing because if I was still at the costume shop, we would have made one at this point. That one made me laugh. Um, but the next thing on the list, oh yeah, Disney princesses and princes. I feel like there's a hierarchy of the easier characters to pull off to the harder characters to pull off. And when it comes to like Disney princess couple costumes, Snow White and Prince Charming are on the hardest scale because he's in tights and poof sleeves, and finding that in men's fashion easily available is a little bit on the tricky side, but it's fun to make, and if you can pull it off, like, I think that Snow White is one of the more fun princesses, but you can also go for Dopey in Snow White, you know? Um, I think that Little Mermaid and Eric, her Prince Charming, are a great one to do because Little Mermaid's fun to there's a million different mermaid versions you can do, and then Prince Charming, you got blue pants with boots. Boots are fun with a pirate shirt, a red sash, maybe even a sword, it's Prince Eric. And then I feel like Cinderella's Prince Charming and Aurora's Prince Charming, Philip, and does Prince Charming have a name? Philip and Eric. Anyways, don't worry, I'm just live. Correct me. But I feel like they're kind of on the same scale of easy slash hard to do. Cinderella's Prince Charming, I would do with a white suit jacket. I would make my own gold epaulets, a sash, a belt, and either red or blue pants, nice dress shoes, just really looking clean. Prince Eric, black red pants, comfy, black boots, a gray doublet vest, jacket with the long sleeve black shirt, and one of those um, archer hats. Yeah, I think Prince Philip. Is that his name? Why am I like blanking on all the princes names? But anyways, I think those ones are really fun to pull off, and you definitely would be the character. Prince Eric's probably the easiest, and Prince Charming with Snow White, that's probably going to be the hardest of all the Prince Charmings, from my experience of dressing people up as all the different versions of Princess and Prince Charming. And I've done the Cinderella and Prince Charming. That one was a fun one. And Cinderella's, there's a lot of fun different ways to pull her off. Okay. So do you guys have any questions about your guys' costumes that you're working on? Um, any questions on the patterning or where to find things or what do you call? No? All right, then I have more couples costumes ideas because I have a million. Um, Oh, yeah, and in the Disney Princesses collection, you can also do Elsa and Harry Honeymarin, and we already talked about Wanda and Vision. Mario and Peach, those ones are great because you can be separate and together, and you would know who both people are. Morticia and Gomez Adams, I've done that one. That one's a fun one. Ooh, King Kong and Fay Ray. That one is a fun one. You want to go run around crazy like a monkey, just start destroying stuff. You have a costume all on your own. It's fun. And then Fay Ray, that one's a little more difficult because what are you? You're wearing are you an angel? Are you a retro movie star? You can always just be, I'm the damsel in distress. I think that one's a fun one to play with. Um, you know, King Kong, Fay Ray. Oh yeah, somebody had said Lex Luthor and 40 cakes. And so I had to look that up and it's Lex Luthor and 40 cakes. That one kind of made me laugh because I was going, okay, if somebody came into the costume shop, what would I say to them? Well, I have a birthday cake costume. It's pink, it has a hat, and it's three-tiered. Now, if we just take some styrofoam or some cake pans and we start to stack it, we can make it look like we have 40 cakes. And then you could be Lex Luthor and 40 cakes. We can make that happen. It made me laugh so hard when I read that one. That was one of the ones I saw on Discord. Ooh, Bulletproof Kevlar, Beauty and the Beast from the 80s Linda Hamilton show. That one's a fun one. Honestly, Beast scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid. Like, we in kindergarten, I went to Beauty and the Beast, like the play the sixth graders put on, and they had us sit down and showed us the beast mask before the show so that we wouldn't be scared. And that somehow made me realize that I should be scared when I see it. Anyways, the beast freaks me out. And that makes me laugh, but I love it. I've done the beast costume a lot. I really like the open face version because having a mask on is just a pain in the ass as the night goes on, and it's not very comfortable. And if you have like a hood, you can you know, beast mode. It's hot, because when you have a lot of fur and a lot of loft, it adds a lot of heat. So if it's cold night, but still, I like the open face versions where it's more of a mane, like you can use a lion's mane for the beast. That one's always fun. Um, Belle, yellow dresses are the best. Going to the thrift store, finding a yellow dress, and then I like to go with the safety pins and pin it so that it's all scalloped. And if it shortens the dress too much, you just add some more fabric at the bottom and scallop it. But finding a fun yellow dress or a gold dress and then modifying it at the thrift store. I've done that a few times for my friends because we all want to be Disney princesses. Okay, let's go find what we can make work. And Beauty and the Beast is a fun one. Although I like the prince as the beast better than as the prince because he's a little boring as the prince. And when you wander off, it's like, wait, what are you? Oh, you're with her. Okay. But when you're the beast, oh, you're Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Makes sense. Oh, yeah. Go as Link and Zelda and see who gets called Zelda more throughout the evening. I thought that one would be hilarious. Link's easier than Zelda to get the stuff for just from experience, but it's definitely a fun one to do. I wanted to do Navi, and I thought it would be fun to do just like a super sparkly opalescent fringed dress with big wings and kitten heels with little poof balls like Tinkerbell's. So it's like Navi, like a little sparkle thing with wings. And then Link, that one I thought would be a fun one. Hey, listen. Yep. That one makes me laugh. I love Navi. She's my favorite. Oh, that one sounds like fun. Bulletproof Kevlar. Another idea, Disney gargoyles, Goliath and Demona. Yes, I love gargoyles. I really liked that series when I was little because they came alive at night and it just is like, I'm missing out all the cool stuff at night, Mom. I don't want to go to bed. The gargoyles. That one's fun because then you could do like gray makeup, you can like be rocks and spray paint thrifted clothes because you can speckle like black or gray like outfits to make them look like they're rock. That one would be fun. Yeah. Okay. Bulletproof Kevlar, design the feet. Okay, so how you would do the feet, the hoof-like feet. Let me look at the gargoyles real quick, because I actually may be able to. Sorry if it shakes the camera. Gargoyles images. Okay, I've seen how to do those. I have actually seen how to do those. I have a pair of these heels where they don't have the heel, they have a bottom support under the heel. So it looks like the heel, like a high heel shoe missing the heel, but it's supported in that weight because it has a little anchor point on the heel. It's all the way upstairs and I have to dig it out. Otherwise, I would show you. But I would probably take a pair of those and then I would use foam, like couch foam, and shape out the rest of the foot itself. Um, because you can sculpt it. So think Easter bunny feet. You want a big oval. The foot sits in the oval. You have the cutout for where the shoe sits inside of the foam. And you put your foot in, you put your shoe on, and then you just slide the cover, the foam cover over the top, and it's the foam foot and the shoe are separate. So I would kind of start with that concept and then start carving out the couch foam into more of the gargoyle toes and shape. And then after you get a good shape on it, um, I would use latex and paint latex over the top of that. Latex isn't going to be a long-term solution because latex eventually will rot, but you can get a really good skin and coating um, to get that really big monster foot. And then if you have that heel, that mock heel in there, that's gonna really get that question going, like, "Oh my gosh, is that ankle bone like a cat?" You know? But, um, but that's kinda where I would start. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Um, because 'cause it'll give you I will have to show you those next week. I'll put that on the list of things to remember to show you. Um, yeah. Okay, let me see. Maker Bats, my 4-year-old stepdaughter wants to be Gizmo next year. I need to talk her out of it, not only because my skills aren't at that level, but also I would love to be a gremlin. I have no idea how to do that. Ooh, that's a fun one. Let me just pull him up real quick. Giz. Okay, so Gizmo, I would do a fur coat. Like, you can do a nice white, sweatsuit, like sweatpants and a jacket, and then I would do, like, a brown fur coat over the top of that, and especially if it had a hood, and then attach I would make the wings, the ears, the bat-like wing ears out of, craft foam. So, yeah, I would get a brown fur hooded jacket and, um craft foam, cutting it out into the bat-like wing ears, and then you can use a little heat to shape it into more of the contours. Attach it. You can even just whip stitch it onto the fur hood, And if you wear a white sweatsuit, like pajamas, I know like at Walmart in the kids section, you can usually get a sweatshirt and sweatpants, $4 a piece ish. Maybe it's $5 this year, inflation, but a little sweatsuit, but I'd get a fur jacket. And then if you don't have a fur jacket, you can cut out a vest that would be, I would start with the kids' t-shirt, draw in your shoulders, draw in your neckline, other shoulder, and then armhole, shoulder, front of the jacket. So it's all one piece. I think that's even more confusing. Let me pattern. So I would just take this straight line, flip it over so I had two of them, and connect them so that, pretend you see it inside out, that it would be like this, so that the armhole would go all the way from here up to here, and so you only have this seam to sew, and then it's straight in the front, so it's just your shoulder. Sew it on the top seam, and then you have a little vest, give it a little hood, and the add the ears to the hood. And how you do a hood pattern, start with your rectangle, which is half the circumference of your head from here to here, because it's going to be on the fold. And then you kind of curve it here and curve it there. And then, but you start with making sure you have a rectangle that's going to fit over your head. The seam can go right here. But that's how I would approach a gremlin for a little kid. It'd be comfortable. They can run around being crazy with their fun little ears, and just a little fur vest. And what's nice about fur is you don't have to line it. You really don't. You can just stitch it up at the shoulders and cut it from behind so that the fur covers all your edges, and just give yourself a little hood. Excuse me. So that one sounds like fun, especially for a 4-year-old. And I feel like at that, like, you can find in the thrift store little kid animal costumes. So look for something that's brown fur, like an old lion costume or something, and add the ears to that. That could also be a fun one. But I would look for fur, like fake fur, good polyester fur. Look in the women's coats at the thrift store. Look in the kids costume section for like different animals. But look for a brown fur, and then really put on the ears onto a hood. Bulletproof Kevlar, maybe liquid latex to match the leg. Yeah. You can also do probably like a full-on spandex, like it turn it into a sock. So you just slide on the whole thing. There's a lot of ways to cover foam, especially couch foam, because you're trying to just get that shape. Okay, Danda's Junk says, I spoke a bit to Shop Gremlin about how to do furry feet in the style, but I forgot what they said or recommended in terms of how to do it. I think it was some kind of special stilt. Yes, there are special stilts that you can order and then or you can use as a base and then kind of build on that. And there are better websites than not, but I don't typically find things online, so I'm not the best person. I usually go scour thrift stores and weird places and have, make things work in my mind. But I will ask and see what is a good place to find those interesting feet to really go all out. Because I feel like we had a pair of goat ones at the costume shop where they had the goat hooves that we used for that one guy from Midsummer's Night's Dream, the satire. Anyways, but those do exist. And I will have to ask Shop Gremlin what they're called and if they recommend a website that sells them. And then I'll show you the ones that I have that I'm kind of thinking about. Um, Bulletproof Kevlar. Cute Gizmo is a great one. Yeah, and then if you want to be like the evil ones, you get a little denim jacket, put all anyways, I think that that one's a really fun one, and you can think a little bit outside the box because I know they have like onesies are easier to find right now at the store, like in adult sizes, like because they're just comfortable pajama suits, and getting those and then kind of modifying it because it has the big oversized hood and jackets. You can also just use a hoodie because if you don't need it to be furry, you can use an oversized brown hoodie, cut it off so it's like a short sleeve with the white um, sweatshirt underneath it, and crop it and unzip it and open it with the big ears. I think adding the ears to the hood and keeping the colors within the right scheme, I think a 4-year-old would have a lot of fun being a little gremlin. Oh, so, oh, look it. I'm already 6 minutes over my half hour. Do you guys have any questions before I skedaddle? Um, Bulletproof Kevlar. I'm a big thrifter. I'm always hunting for props and things from my childhood. Even started making prop replicas. So many things in my past are hard to find when you're on a budget. Yeah, it's like, do you have time to make it? Can you find it? No, it makes a lot of sense. That's kind of how we all start getting into making our own things. You get something stuck in your mind and it doesn't already exist. Hi, Toby. Are you telling me it's time to go? Yeah. Okay. Well, so let me just double check that I got all the couples costumes off of my random list. Batman, Catwoman, that one's a fun one because Catwoman, I like doing it with all the rhinestones. Like she just stole a whole bunch of jewelry. Spider-Man and Mary Jane, that one's always fun. Captain America, Peggy Carter, yes, that one's a fun one. There's the Lex Luthor and 40 Cakes that made me laugh. Raven and Beast Boy, Nightwing and Starfire, Clark Kent, Lois Lane. That one's a fun one. So next week, I was thinking somebody gave me a really great idea at the live stream on Monday to do costumes you can do with a suit. And I was like, that is a great idea. So next week, I wanted to talk to you guys more about what to wear when you have to go to work and you want to play dress up. And also different costumes that you can do with a suit. So until next time, thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. And I hope that you guys had fun. Ask me any questions about your costumes. I'll give you my best 2 cents. So good night. All right. And